brought to you by Jeff in a Van. If you need stuff moved, Jeff in a Van. Moves. Oh, was that Jeff in a Prius? Let's do the Jeff in a Prius moving company. What do you think? Yeah, it's Jeff in a, well, maybe. I mean, people in general aren't like moose. All right. All right. And can you keep me posted how stuff looks? I'm going to move to the actual thing. So here's the good news. This is kind of awesome. You're not on YouTube. All right. So Jeff's blind. I think I can see. All right. If we take a look here, this is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shogun. It's a guru, so it has multiple arms. I love these. Found out about these from Jeff on Jeff Has Cool Friends when he interviewed Shogun. And this one, for those that recall, all right, actually, let's do introduction so you know where you're at. You are at Jeff Has Cool Cards, the Monday night show. I Must Drake You, the Monday night Raw to your Nitro, or what is it? Is it Raw to Nitro? Is that the SmackDown? Yeah, whatever. I'm the SmackDown to your Nitro or whatever. We break cards around here. We also look at collectibles. I was thinking, Jeff, sometime we could also say the C stands for collectibles. But anyway, patreon.com/Jeff May, the proprietor of this channel who does all the cool stuff. Jeff May has cool friends who like cards, who like collectibles, and this just happened to be something I got in the mail. Jeff and I regularly do a podcast, the Nerd Podcast, which goes live on Thursdays. So tune in for this Thursday. And I think we'll try and get it. I'll do my best, Jeff, to get it out early for the patrons on Wednesday. Normally we try for Monday, but that's constrained by when we can record. But anyway, that being said. Yeah. All right. But anyway, for those that don't recall, in the Nerd Podcast, we had my brother on as a guest host to discuss Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. Back in the day, my brother and I got collectible ooze canisters that are now retail about $200, Jeff. So I could not buy one of those, but much, not cheap, but much, much cheaper. This Shogun statue was a much nicer gift that has actually as one of the hands a broken ooze canister. So this is a nice callback gift. I bought this for him way back in the day. I was hoping to get it to him maybe by his wedding. Wasn't expecting it because it said the release date was August and that would have been really close. But finally got it in, and I think I'm going to send it home with my parents at Thanksgiving or take it out there for Christmas. All right. So in terms of comparing the breakable shows on this channel, Jeff Has Cool Cards. We have lots of cool cards, Jeff. Jeff is an amazing guy. Jeff will send you cards in the mail. I will hoard them like a hoarder for myself. I try. I know it's so. Well, so I mean, for me, what I do is I basically go for sets that I am a big fan of. And so as an example, you will see here, I need to get a better label, my label maker. These fade. This is a bummer. This is a printable one, but they fade, and then the labels that come out aren't great. So I have to find a better solution. But I have 1991 NBA Fleer, and I absolutely love this set. And this was like what got me back into collecting. And I did get a complete set of these, but Jeff, I've gone crazy with the collation. Because also, not only do we have like the full set, I don't need to show the whole thing. There is the All-Star set. This is a subset. You can get portions of these. These are ones where you just buy them. You don't try and get them all in a box. You'd have to break like 3 or 4 boxes to get all of these. I got those. I also got the expansion set. So this has rookies, etc., including a Gary Payton rookie. So this is the second set. There is also, Jeff, this is again another one you just buy, a rookie sensation set. And then, Jeff, yeah, I actually inadvertently bought the wrong year for this because Fleer will do 91, like they do 2 years for the set. So I thought I was buying 1990, 91. I bought 91, 92. I do not regret it because I'm collecting that set, and that actually has a David Robinson rookie in it. So it's pretty cool. And Jeff, though, this is the last part, which is what I'm at now, is There are variants of this set on a second run, and I'll explain that have different prints on the back of the card that is barely noticeable. I'm not even going to worry about it. There's like a black line that's not. And so I actually do want the Larry Bird of that, which I have. And they also had some so what's hilarious about old sets, Jeff, is they'll have misprints and they'll try and correct them on like a second run, and they'll still have misprints. But one of the yeah. Well, there are errors like TCB will list them, but I'm saying what I always love is they try and correct the errors on second printings, and then they still have errors in the second printing. But on the first printing of these, the Miami Heat logo, it got cut off at the printer here. So the second printing has this. Can they not hear Jeff? I think you are right. Oh, God damn it. I hate you, OBS. We switched. It could just be that we switched audio. Jeff and I were talking before the show. Then I think Jeff's stream switched. You should be there now, Jeff. So go ahead and talk.
All right. We love all this technology. It makes it so much easier to stream stuff that doesn't work.
The good news is I was doing all the blabbing anyway. So we have these Miami Heat logos where if you look here on like this Glen Rice, the Heat logo comes all the way up. Whereas if I go back, and this set I actually like because it keeps the teams together. Some collations of some sets will not keep the teams together, because that's the weird thing. I would love at some point maybe on a nerd show, but you'll see the Heat logo gets cut off there. On a nerd show, it would be cool to talk some of the stuff that you know about the junk wax era. We both know at this point that collation can get hilarious.
Sure.
You and I have both opened cards from the 90s. And so, by the way, the reason these are different is there was an initial set of wax 1990-91 Fleer that I opened. They did a second set of these jumbo packs, or $1.49 back in the day, that are cellophane. And so if you buy the ones that come in the cellophane wrapper, and I actually did get I think a 6 or 7 pack of these for about $10 each, which is nice. So those are nice things that I can just keep around.
$10 per pack?
Yeah, about that. But they're jumbo. They come with 45.
That seems high for junk.
Yeah. It depends. Like on this channel, we have a lot of discussions about the hobby, collecting, what you want, right? And so I like having, if I'm talking about my budget per show, the ideal budget for me on Dre'K would be, unless I'm kind of going crazy for something that I'm looking for, about $30 a show. So that's why I'll buy like a hobby box of 100 and split it into thirds, or in this case, got some junk wax Fleer that again can do the same. So, and the only reason for these is there can be like a Michael Jordan with the line out, which might be worth $10, might be worth the cost of the pack. But I like it. It's fun. Like if you're looking for the hunt, which I do like, breaking cards to try and complete a set, you want an affordable set. As mentioned, like, the Marvel Universe, which I love, like Marvel Universe Series 1, that is one I'm just never going to be able to break. And then this set I love too. We've opened some of this before, but this is the Fleer 1992. They went all in on Dikembe Mutombo, which I love. So he was an awesome rookie. He made it to the All-Star game as a rookie. Only time in his career he scored over 10 points a game, which is kind of hilarious. And so they did an expansion set of 1992 NBA Fleer, and they included a bunch of Dikembe Mutombo cards, and around 2,000 of those are autographed. So, and this box is like $60. So again, split it up so I don't break it all in one show, because also that would be a lot. There are 36 packs, I think like 15 cards a pack. That's just too many cards. We're not, the past is alive around here. But yeah, so that's kind of my thing, is I enjoy the hunt. I'm looking for cards that have the incorrect black on the back, so you'll see here that like there's not a thick black line.
Well, thank God you were clarifying that it was writing.
You're just like, I'm out, Dre. You're on your own. Anyway.
Oh, Logan remembers this set.
Yeah. This is I love this set. I think the 92 Fleer is the first Fleer I got, in the 89. I think 92 with Fleer and Charles Oakley. Although I love this, right? If you look at old sets, like when we talk things like grading, etc., if you look at centering and whatever, it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, Fleer infamous for centering.
And I've mentioned this before. I do love the backs of these cards because they were Basketball Reference before Basketball Reference. I love Dan.
You mean stats? They were stats.
But I'm saying if you needed like a sports almanac, you either bought a sports almanac or you had a
you got the
collection of
cards.
cards. Those were your
Dan
options.
Maherly, man, what a name to have to figure out when I was an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, sure. And we have mentioned Basketball Reference, one of the best websites out there, does have player pronunciations. Ooh, love this. Like, look at this. Just flip them up. Why not? Who cares, Fleer? Just upside down, inside out, whatever you want. Whatever you want. And Irving. So we are looking for, probably like a Michael Jordan would be ideal. There's not anything major in this set. I don't think there are any
What's
major.
Jordan's card? Jordan's card's a layup in this one, right?
I think he's doing like can let you know really
Like
quick.
a finger roll kind of thing,
I
right?
believe that's the case, yeah. It's okay. It's not the best. The expansion set on this does have a Sean Kemp and Gary Payton rookie, which is definitely cool. But nothing like. Let's see. Michael Jordan is number 26, and give me one. Ooh, actually, it is a nice looking one. I'll show you really quick. So the Michael Jordan card.
Oh,
is
it's
actually
the dunk. That's
dunk.
right. Never mind.
That's a cool card. I do like that, and I've got a couple of those. So that's fine. Let's see. Dennis Johnson. I love this guy. He has his number retired by the Celtics.
DJ.
And he won.
Bird gets the ball to DJ. DJ gets it.
Oh, nice. And he won a finals MVP with the Seattle Supersonics.
Yes.
Byron Scott.
But when Larry Bird intercepted the inbound pass, he got it to DJ.
Was that the one? The
yeah, that's the
Tommy
Tommy Heinsohn where he intercepted it and he dishes it to DJ.
I'm gonna have to watch that play. That's awesome. And actually,
I watch that play all the time.
Let's use that to talk some of the upcoming week, because I am definitely going to use the comparison of 80s, 90s basketball to professional wrestling, because we're recording Nerd tomorrow, which will come out this Thursday, keeping up our theme on Holiday Ghouls. The Holiday Ghoul, both on the court and off the court, Chris Mullin, man, if he just took more threes, could have won the Pacers a title. But could
have won the Dennis the Menace award for looking the most like Dennis the Menace.
Really? Not like Guile? I guess you could do Dennis the Menace. I'll give that to
you. Chris Mullin looked too boyish.
Yeah.
Like Guile.
Oh, nice. This is I've seen this before. I don't know if there's no way they could know because this is ahead of time. But we got Dennis Rodman and Will Perdue next to each other. One of the most lopsided, terrible trades in NBA history. Will Perdue for Dennis Rodman, which is why everybody thinks Michael Jordan is the GOAT. If it didn't happen, Magic Johnson might still be considered or like Kareem. One of my regrets, Jeff, in a card shop, there was like a $15 signed Horace Grant card there. And I was like, I'll come back for it.
You blew it.
And it disappeared. Because, yeah, again, when we talk kind of the hobby, like, you want to be if you want to be a collector, you kind of have to decide your price range, what kind of stuff you're going for. And you really should go more for, sentimental. You should not view this as an investment because, that'll get burned. Alex English, one of the all-time scorers, and Denver Nuggets. Danny Ainge. Oh, yeah, your boy.
Boston. Danny Ainge.
Yep. I've mentioned this person many, many times, but Orlando Woolridge is the Kevin Bacon of MVPs. Played with the most MVPs in NBA history.
Danny Ainge also played for, was it the Brewers?
The Brewers? Was he a baseball player?
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't.
Wow, I guess
you
don't know about
basketball. Look at this. Danny, who
it's the Blue Jays. He played for the Blue Jays.
Yeah. Oh, good eyesight, by the way, Jeff. Don't need to get glasses anytime soon, but that is cool. It's on the back of the card. So Jeff knows the back of 1990-91 NBA.
Well, like, there's a lot of, like, so when you talk about, like, players that are multi-sport players, and people mostly focus on Dion and Bo Jackson, but, like, people seem to forget that Dave Winfield was drafted by 3 of the 4 major American sports and a couple leagues of them.
So what were the 3 sports? It would be what? Baseball, basketball, football?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Jeff, one of my favorites, Terry Porter, because he went to UW Stevens Point, the only player from that. And so the greatest UW Stevens Point alum, and I actually gave I've given 2 sports analytics talks at UW Stevens Point, that's University of Wisconsin. And
I actually, by the way, I'd like to say that I believe I said it was Dave Winfield was the correct one. I don't know why I said Andre Dawson.
I heard Dave Winfield, but did you say Dawson?
Oh, did I say Dave Winfield?
I heard Dave Winfield, but someone go back in time and correct us. Steve Kerr, look at that little kid. League leader
Oh, it
in
was
three.
baseball and basketball. So he was drafted by the NBA, the ABA. The Vikings selected him in the 17th round. Yeah, even though he didn't play college football, he was drafted by 3 sports.
That's so stupid.
Him, Joe. The other most famous of the other group would be George Carter.
Oh, and Charlie Ward played for the Knicks after winning the Heisman. I'm loving the stats. By the way, I love this card, right, Jeff? So it says Steve Kerr led the league in 3-point accuracy. You flip the card over, no 3-point accuracy. Field goal percentage is an abomination stat that we shouldn't use. Although I will give props to Fleer for using per 48 minutes ahead of its time there in that regard. Vernon Maxwell, Billy Thompson. This is just confusing, by the way. The Utah Jazz had Karl Malone and Jeff Malone. No relation. Derek Smith.
And even if they were, Karl Malone wouldn't admit it.
Oh, love this guy. Bill Laimbeer. Good coach, too. Kevin McHale. This was I don't think we got major stars in this, did we? So I got it. James Worthy is probably the best.
You got Bill Laimbeer. He had his own Nintendo game.
Okay. Interesting. I should check that out. All right. Well, let's look for some Dikembe Mutombo rookie autographs. Now,
Got a Dikembe auto.
we actually did pull a Dikembe rookie last time. Let's do like 5 or 6. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to, I was kind of talking the...
Look at you just arbitrarily grabbing the stacks. That's crazy.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, because I usually just grab them, like, I'll grab one whole stack from one side or quadrant.
Well,
You're just randomly and arbitrarily grabbing them.
Don't you want to keep the, like, level the same on the box?
No, I want to grab a whole stack.
But then the level isn't the same, Jeff.
So we have different forms of OCD.
By the way, I do love a few weeks, maybe months ago at this point, Walker Morgan came into this chat. He was like, yeah, this is the neurodiverse channel, isn't it? And I'm like, listen, I'm talking about fonts on cards. And then we proceeded to talk about sharks. So, yeah. Okay. But yeah, because I think the subtle difference between I must Dre'K you and I must break you. I must break you's on Wednesdays. Do you know what's on deck? So that is Wednesdays, typically at 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Central. Any idea what you got on deck this week?
I'm not 100% sure.
This Fleer's treating me right, so I had to cut you off immediately.
Oh, look at that.
Subpar as that pack, just started off with a Jordan team leader. Love it.
Hey, look at that.
You sent me
no. I love that you interrupted me for a common card.
It's MJ. Touch. And it's not. It's a team leader, Jeff. It's a substance insert. Yeah. Okay. So sorry.
No, I know. I'm kidding. So I thought about. I have a Hawkeye box, but I was gonna open that closer to Christmas. But also, if I open it in November, then people will get them before Christmas.
Did you watch the Hawkeye show?
Yeah,
I really dug it. I actually like that show.
Yeah, it's a Christmas show, really. Like, I love that.
By the way, I love just the look of the back. This is actually like just a nice stylized back of card.
That back of the cards always reminded me, and I don't know if there's the texture on it, but it always reminded me of like a parquet floor.
Yeah, I'd give you that. Like what's parquet?
It's colored like an old basketball court.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that feels intentional because if you look, you can actually even see that.
You can see grain, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and you can see like the little slats in between.
With Officer Brad Davis.
I love Brad Davis. He's a funny one. I got some of him in like the '89. I don't remember him for the 76ers. Jim Lynam. Anthony Bonner. Love Spud Webb, dunk champion. I got Manute Bull, and I love the picture of Manute Bull next to Tyrone Muggsy Bogues. Nate McMillan, TMC Mitch Richmond. Is this still when he's on the? Yeah, it's still a Warriors Mitch Richmond. Too short.
More like bitch Richmond.
Oh, what?
More like bitch Bitchmond.
Jeez, oh man. Jeff
Welcome to the roast show, Mitch.
I don't remember. This is nice because this is like that nice era. We were kind of talking this about wrestling. So again, Nerd will be on 1990 Survivor Series. I gotta say this. If you haven't watched it before the Nerd Show, do yourself a favor. I think you can get it for free with ads on Peacock, but check out 1990 WWF. It'll be under WWE, which is hilarious. Survivor Series. Um, you got to watch it. Like I
Yeah.
and you
So
watched it
like that,
high, Jet. You watched it live and you watched
I've
it high.
watched it. I've watched it in every conceivable way. I've watched it standard. I've watched it in person. I watched it
Okay,
stoned
boom.
last
Sorry. And see, Jeff, this is the problem. I let you talk and then immediately. So this is what
oh,
we
look
are
at
looking
that.
for. Not the auto. This would be awesome to get the auto, but the
You did
limited
get an
edition,
insert.
which is on the set. And I can't tell if it's really hard to tell. And this wouldn't be gradable either. You can look at the top because it's a thicker card. So it's already got a ding. So it wouldn't grade. And I've kind of like, you and I were talking pre show. I'm probably out of the grade game beyond just buying from other people online. It's fun, but it's, work, and then you have to sell stuff if you want to recoup. So if you're not doing it for the money and being real exact, but
Oh
and I
yeah, like dude, whenever like I'll open a card and if somebody's a member of the Patreon, they'll be like, "Can you get this graded for me? I'll pay you." And I'm just like, "Fuck." I'm
so
like,
do you want to know
"Sure."
my just as an example for that to put that in there? My local card shop they briefly did grading and like are out of the grading game. So same thing. I think
Yeah.
it's just like most people are like, if you're not going to be super discernible, it's probably more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. We were talking. Jeff has cool cards. What you were thinking of breaking? Hawkeye the show. I cut you off or something because we actually got the card we were looking for.
Yeah, no. Every time you ask me a question, I know you're going to get a good thing that's going to interrupt my answer. So that's actually going to be good for you
Yeah,
if you keep asking questions, because that means you're going to pull something good.
jinx things. John Bagley.
No, so Jeff has cool cards. Like I must break you on Wednesday. I think I might just do Hawkeye. I'm not 100% sure um if the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, like when I'll be able to do the break.
Oh yeah,
But
gee, that's well. Wait, this is that's next week though, isn't it?
yes, that'll be next week. But like this week, yeah, maybe I'll just do Hawkeye this week. Who
Okay.
knows? I'll take a look at what I got.
So Zach is asking for mailbag. I will say I actually apologies,
A
Jeff. I
mailbag. Okay, so I was gonna do a mailbag this week, but I ended up having to drive to San Pedro to film other things. So there was no opportunity for me to do a mailbag, but I do have all the stuff for the mailbag ready to go.
Oh, by the way, I didn't want to
Um,
cut you off again, so I just had
yeah.
these two cards. Iron Man Rob Parrish shocked that not Dikembe that LeBron James passed his games played, and Anthony Mason just underrated player, amazing, and I believe unfortunately he passed. But mailbag time, you said last week
Yeah,
had conflicts, but you actually do
yeah,
have some
I
mailbag
was
stuff,
filming with Adam. Yeah,
which
like
is
don't worry, like I was filming video with Adam, so like that's cool. And then we watched the fight together.
that was. Is there any outlet this week for talking? I mean, we might, it'll overlap a little with Nerd.
Don't ask about no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to talk about the boxing match on Nerd. You don't want to place Nerd in the amber like that.
Boom, got a Magic Johnson.
Oh, don't use quote tweets. Don't use quotes on that, Zach. They were perfectly good. If you guys thought that it was going to be a real competitive and violent fight, that's on you guys for being gullible. But you got two of the three fights before the exhibition were great, and that first one was fun to watch at least. And as long as a lot of people that don't know anything about boxing have a lot of opinions uh, on the Katie Taylor fight because they don't understand how boxing works and they think that she was throwing massive headbutts when it was two people that were throwing their heads together and the shorter person always wins that. That's why I was told when I was a fighter to never get into a clinch with head to heads with a shorter fighter. Like they're like the shorter fighter always wins that inside because their forehead is at your eye level. So basically, if you guys have a collision, they're fine and you're not. It's not their fault for being shorter. As a taller fighter, you should be the one keeping that distance. Like
Wait,
that's boxing 101 for a taller fighter.
well, and also, I mean, you were saying the stuff ahead of time about the fight and kayfabe and all that. By the way, this is just a fun guy. One of the only people with a winning record to get fired. I didn't realize he came to the Nuggets, but he was fired from the Lakers for getting in a fight with Irvin Magic Johnson, of all people. And it's really a shame. If you read the Showtime Lakers by Jeff Pearlman, Jack McKinney was the architect. All right, you sent me one of these cards, Jeff, the team leader Dikembe Mutombo rookie card. So we got
Did.
two Mutombos. I'm happy about that. But yeah,
You
basically,
got Mutombo both of them.
it's I'll give it to you.
Boo.
I'll give it. It's okay.
Anyway, I do have a lot of notes about that fight and the people that were saying that Katie Taylor that it was fixed. No, it wasn't. Katie Taylor landed better shots the entire time. Serrano had good stuff, but Katie Taylor did so much more damage to Serrano, and it's not the incidental headbutting. So I get a little bit annoyed at people who know nothing, and I'm not talking about in the comments now, but about people that know nothing about the process of boxing that all of a sudden are becoming like armchair pundits. And
But
I'm just like, but that's not at all how this works.
but what I will throw to you, and this is anything. So like I'm going through this kind of experience with chess right now.
Oh, Dana Barros is a remember when she got inhabited by Zool
Yeah,
and the
we
Ghostbusters had to
always.
save
Oh
her?
yeah, I was gonna say glad you made that because I've made that joke I think 2 or 3 times, and I was thinking maybe letting it die, but nope, gotta get these two together. But I was just gonna say I've been having this kind of experience with chess where if you want a sport or competitive activity to go to the next level, to be mainstream, you have to put up with the fans that don't know anything. And so that's the good thing about boxing. My two take on the fights you're giving all this great analysis on, Jeff, is I kept seeing the Netflix is Frozen screen over and over
Yeah,
and
that
over
was
again.
that was annoying.
So that was my take on the fight is wow, Netflix. And like I even said there though that anybody that's like this was perfect for everybody because Netflix is going to sell it as we were so popular we crashed the site, and uh, they were already setting up not the rematch. It looked like they were going to try and do a Logan Paul versus Tyson right at the very end. And so and the same thing with the slap. It's one thing that the announcers themselves were saying about the fight was that Tyson, looked flat-footed. I used the knowledge I learned from Nerd episode number 2 on Mike Tyson's Punch Out, which you can find over at patreon.com/Jeff May, which is also where you can find out one of the worst players of all time in NBA history, Cliff Robinson, by the way, where you can find out about Jeff Has Cool Cards, where he breaks cards on I Must Break You on Wednesdays, does Nerds on the third Thursday of the month, and you do
Usually.
Jeff Has Cool Friends every other Tuesday. You already heard it. I hope you got the bonus feed. It was absolutely worth it. But if you didn't, it comes out for free tomorrow.
That'll drop tonight and tomorrow, yeah. Or tomorrow morning, 12:01.
But what I was
Or
just
wait, no, I think I drop it at 6 a.m. for the free reloaders.
yeah, freeload. Come on, can you really wait that long? What I was going to note about the fight is on the Punch Out episode, you talk about watching fighters' feet and how most fighters, Kevin Johnson, one of the worst mayors of all time, but a pretty good player actually. But that fighters don't stay flat-footed. They stay on the balls of their feet. And Mike Tyson looked pretty flat-footed in that fight. And then what's more, the announcers were saying he had a knee, like something on his knee, right? Knee.
He had a 60-year-old body.
Well, that too. But I guess what I'm
That's
saying,
the
yeah, I mean the thing is like a 58-year-old trying to compete, but it's like he probably wasn't even fully healthy. We got another Dikembe coming up, so come on, please be. If it's signed, Jeff, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Start talking. Saying something. Nope. No.
Wait, what? Oh, blah
saying,
blah blah.
yeah.
Look at that. I got an answering a
Although
question.
this is a real bummer because these are slightly thicker cards, and you can see both the Kimbes I pulled. I got some of these in a binder that I got used at the store for like $10-15. Like the guy sold me both pretty cheap, and they were dinged up, and I didn't know if that was just years of wear and tear, but it even looks like pack freshes. You're gonna get those dinged up as well, but it's cool to get. But his knee looked possibly injured. He wasn't going super strong. He could kind of come out for a few burst of energy, but otherwise was kind of just staying there. And it's going, yeah, in terms of this fight, um, the slap, build it up, do stupid off the court stuff to bring attention to it. Anybody
Yeah,
that
that's
fell for the slap is an idiot. Like that, I'll give you too. Like anybody that's like, oh, can you believe the slap? Can you believe this? It's like, no, don't be that person. Please don't be that person. Please don't be that naive. But people are. Um, and then also just
yeah. I was trying to tell people too. I'm like, look, enjoy it, but it's a work. And if you don't think it's a work, I don't like that. It's like believing Santa Claus is real. Like there was no way that they were going to do this in any way that wasn't going to follow some kind of a script. And I actually said the only thing I'm shocked at is that it wasn't a split decision.
and I think just Tyson was not in good. Like, here's the thing: he wasn't in good enough shape. So the only, oh, nice, a Scott Williams rookie card, by the way. I have interviewed
He was,
him.
by the way, no, I'm gonna add, he was in great shape. He was also fighting a 27-year-old that people seem to think is a bad basketball player. I mean, excuse me, because you're doing basketball, a bad boxer simply because they don't like him, which is also the dumbest reason on the planet to think somebody is bad at something.
Well, I also hate in professional sports just how harsh the funnel is at each level. And so, a comment someone had once, I recall, was about college basketball. Is like a given college basketball player is better at basketball than you will be at like anything in your life. Just the amount, and that's a step outside of the NBA or even other leagues, even Euro League or whatever. So it's like, yes, um, both of the Pauls, Jake and Logan, right? They're not going to be fighting with I don't even know any heavyweights at the moment. Apologies, I don't know boxing well enough. They're not going to be competing at that level. Boo. Although, yay, yay. Okay. They're not going to be competing at that level, but they're still really, really good at boxing, right? Compared to just the average person. So it does get hilarious when you're like, oh, they suck at boxing. They couldn't be, NBA caliber, whatever the equivalent for boxing, the different, they're what, 3 heavyweight belts or something? 3, I don't even know, Jeff. It's funny stuff in boxing. But it's like, yeah, you're right. They're not at that level, but they're still much better than most people. And here is the question I had to you, because I think you said you don't think so. So you're in your 40s, and I was like, I'm going to say it, Jeff. I think you could take Tyson. So 40s Jeff versus almost 60 Tyson. What do you think?
He would kill me.
So you think so?
I don't have the training that Logan Paul has right now, nor the body. Like Logan Paul, all he does is train. I have jobs like I mean, he was getting rid of that. I mean, obviously he's doing videos and stuff, but I'm, I'm a very small operation. I don't have time to put in the way he does. I don't have 6 hours a day to train for a boxing match. So no, I probably wouldn't,
Okay, but
you
but
know.
but let's talk Rocky. Let's talk the Rocky scenario. All right, I'll finish up on these two cards. Baby, I think Adam nearly ran over him at one point. Rick Fox, great,
I think
great
yeah.
professional athlete to actor. Shows up in a bunch of random movies and things, including Holes with Shia LaBeouf as a baseball
He's
player.
in holes.
Yep, love that. And then Sedale Threat, I think. I always thought it was Threat, but nothing to indicate it's not. This has got to be one of the most auspicious things to have to do. He's the guy that had to replace Magic Johnson on the Lakers after Magic Johnson had to retire to HIV/AIDS complications. That's got to suck, right? As a professional player, just be like, all right,
Yeah.
you're coming in for that. Okay, so we did get a couple Mutombos. Unfortunately, like I said, beyond personal. Here's the good thing. Here's the nice thing about going after these kind of cards, Jeff. In the ideal world, a PSA Gem Mint 10 of these probably worth $25, and it costs you 10 to 15 to grade, including probably about $3 to $5 shipping and handling if you do it right. So, if this was in perfect condition, it would cost me $20 to get a $40 card. So, not a big deal, but fun to get it. Like I said, the grail object just for fun would be to get a pack fresh autograph. I do have a Dikembe Mutombo autographed jersey that he did in person. I've met him, which was cool, which is really cool because unfortunately he passed. But that was a lot of fun. Let's do the other thing. So Did forget to bring up Tom and Jeff watch Batman, which also sounds special this week. Do you want to elucidate on that? I'll organize cards and then play the. I'm not going to do the full organization, but while you were elucidating on that, I'll organize some cards. We'll talk about the upcoming week for Jeff May, and then I'll play us out. So, Tom and Jeff watch Batman on Wednesday. Anything?
Yeah, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman should be a free episode, I believe. We are going to start a new kind of season because we just wrapped up the Batman and Robin 1949. We have a very special guest joining us on that episode.
Is he a
We've got
cool guest,
Nerd.
Jeff? Is he a cool guest?
He's a very cool guest.
Are you friendly with this cool guest?
I would not, if I was not friendly with this guest, they would not be on my show.
All right. Jeff's got standards. So that's cool. Hopefully that's enough of a hint. Can you hint on what Batman you are doing?
It's relatively recent.
All right. Put your guess. Okay. We've kind of mentioned this before, and it does really help the algorithm. Arguments, guesses, anything in the comments. Like, I kind of brought this up before. Like Burrito last week, I think said something. I was like, yeah, you all should argue about that in the comments. So put your guesses for what you think Tom and Jeff watch Batman will be on in the comments themselves on this video. That really
Landon said I got hit in the face with a soccer ball once, and that was the moment I knew I didn't want a box. It's so different, dude. It's when you're ready for it and you're in that moment, it's a lot different than when a surprise soccer ball hits you in the face. It's a very different scenario. But I understand.
It's the quote my son says, and you're related to this, Jeff, because it came about after he met you. Is he's like, boxing is really good exercise, but you shouldn't get hit in the head because it hurts your brain. I'm like, yep. And I actually put this on Instagram this week, but my son figured out how to beat, thanks to Dad. Dad taught him, but figured out how to beat Soda Popinski super quick. So he can beat Soda Popinski in a minute 26 or minute 23 in game time. So that's like 30 seconds.
Wow.
Because I watched like a tutorial on how to do it, and actually he does it better than me because you have to beat Soda Popinski on the third uppercut. You actually have to do an uppercut when he's not expecting it, otherwise he'll dodge it. And like just the way my son tried, if this is going to sound hilarious, and yes, I'm defending my ego, Jeff, but because my son is patient and like doesn't punch immediately, it does that. But like me, I try and do like the immediate counter punch, and if you try and do an immediate counter punch, he does that. All right, so something fairly recent for Batman. Put your guesses in the comments. Of course, Thursdays you are on Whatnot for Mike Mayhew Studios. Amazing covers. That's been some fun stuff to watch. Like I said, at this point, what I do is I will just I'll just lurk and get the visceral high of watching other people open. But it is really fun stuff.
Also, that his new GI Joe cover went, and we actually sold it. We were selling it for pretty cheap, just for like fun, because it was brand new. But that cover's cool as hell.
So what's on it, by the way? If you want to speak to it, maybe I'll put this.
Oh, it's the Baroness. It's the Baroness with a rifle, but she's in like, instead of wearing her Cobra uniform, she's in like a GI Joe uniform.
I'm gonna quickly look that up, and then I think you've already mentioned you will probably have time for a mailbag. And then this is the gotcha we got for you, right? If I'm not mistaken, for mailbags, you tend to do like surprise. Like this is where you need to. Okay, I'm seeing this is slightly annoying. I'm gonna hop over here really quick. But for mailbags, it tends to be one where you don't do. Oh, is this?
Yeah, that's the cover. Nope, that's the last one. That's the Cobra one. The one you were just on, if you look at it, that's a Destro remark that was on that cover.
Oh, and it's this. So this one.
It's that one, yeah. So that's the video with Mike.
So that's a video, but that's the cover.
That's the cover. So
is there any way to pause the video?
You can just go down. You can just, it's there. You just can scroll. If you just scrolled a little bit.
I guess I could have done that instead of being. That is amazing. Yeah, he does really good stuff.
Like, come on, like, look at that. It's so good.
Yeah. Any of those going on Thursday when you're going, if you know anything with just the
I would think so. I mean, we did a couple in the mystery. We did one in the mystery packs, but from the noon show, we had a couple, and I think he allowed us to go as low as $20.
Wow.
Which was pretty rad.
Here's the rough thing for me on those is like usually towards the end, if you sell off the good stuff, you do the silly stuff, or occasionally you'll do, I do have that. That's an awesome cover. I have that Rogue. I have those two. That remark was a cool one to get. These are the ones
Oh
from
yeah, that
last
was
week.
great. So those are the ones from my show. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
Craven
was.
is pretty great too.
But all I was gonna say is, like towards the end is when you'll be like, oh hey, we can throw stuff in for cheaper. Or these are dinged up if you want to get a discount, which is a lot of fun. Again, that's whatnot.com. If you just search there for Mayhew Studios, and on Thursdays is when Jeff.
Yeah, it's
We
at Mike Mayhew Studio
we have to kick Zach out of the
for
channel
making a
for
That's
That's
So
So
Craven
Craven. Oh
reference.
my gosh. Okay. So we got that. We do have a mailbag on Friday. We typically keep those kind of like watch to know. So
Those
subscribe
are
to the channel.
shorter. I mean, I don't have a ton of mail that has come in. Louis Campos sent me some pretty cool stuff that I can show off. I have, a couple weeks of comic pulls to show, but not even a ton there. But that usually means that I'll probably break a blaster as well.
And I have some stuff to send you that I was hoping to get you this weekend, but didn't, because I actually have a couple. Like, if this makes any sense, I have some extra supplies. Like, remember I told you I have like a camera box that would just be useful for you, as well as I have like some
Yeah.
extra some cards and stuff. So I have some
Yeah,
stuff to send you.
real quick. Another hint, and I will deliver that information to Logan, who just sent me a message, on my Twitter DMs. Uh, yes and no.
So the clue is Logan asked something, and the answer is yes and
Is
no.
yes and no. Yes to the first part of the question, and then no to the second one.
Okay, so everybody write that down in your journal. All right, we've got the classic patreon.com/Jeff May. If you want Jeff to send you stuff in the mail for cheap, sign up now. I've got some other stuff to look into in the near future. Patreon just released gift patronages, Jeff, and I'm going to investigate that a little and talk to you because, we've kind of said in past it's hard to get people to sign up at Christmas, but I am wondering if we can get people to gift at Christmas. So we can talk that. And yeah, if you want Jeff to send you stuff in the mail, any of the rookie card tiers, those go up at the end of the year. So Jeff breaks really cool cards, more expensive and cooler stuff than this. So like this is me hunting down junk wax stuff to complete binders to relive my childhood. Jeff will
Oh
open
yeah.
like hobby boxes with, prisms and stuff, and he will send out the good cards. If you are a fan, he will send them to you. And if they're like slightly higher quality, he will, wait for special times. So if you remain a patron for a while, you can basically be like, when it's hologram month or, numbered card month, Jeff will send those out
Yeah.
to his patrons. So definitely take advantage of that. Patreon.com/Jeff May. You can also just like sign up to listen to Jeff Has Cool Friends, Ugh Fine with Kim Crawl, Nerd with Dre and Jeff. As mentioned, amazing episode on Survivor
Okay.
Series coming up.
So Dre asking a question, can we tell if someone signed up via the website or iOS? No. But what you can do, Zach, is just cancel and resubscribe immediately through the website. If that's the case, like
And to
I
clarify for
think you can
everybody
do that. I
listening,
don't know.
Jeff
But
has
that's
said
a good
before,
reason I don't use Apple products, by the way.
yeah, Jeff is mentioning this.
Anyways.
If you're trying to support a creative, do not use the Apple Store. See if there's
No,
if it's a
do
game or
not.
something.
You absolutely
see if
don't.
there's a website. See if there's something else, because the Apple Store adds like a 30% tax on top of anything. This is true of all sorts of things, like people that do cameos. If you do Cameo at the website, it's like $100, and they get $90 or something. If you do Cameo through Apple, they get like $60. So do not use Apple for anything if you want to support a creative, Jeff included.
Also, Apple's products are bad. I'm sorry that they're so easy, supposedly, to use, but their operating systems are so much worse.
I will say this as someone who does use Apple products. Like, funny thing, when we were talking boxing, I'm a software developer, and I have, a high-end Apple, laptop for doing that. And, there might be graphic designers that are the same. Most people don't need that. Like, that's just the truth. Like, when you're like, I need this computer because it's so powerful, it's like, are you doing professional, like, graphic design or software development as a living? If no, no, you don't. That'll be the answer I'll give. All right, Jeff, anything else you want to plug before we head out of here?
I mean, no, we're good, man. Just be nice, support artists and artisans. I do a post on across my social media, although I don't think I did it on Blue Sky every year, that just has people that are independent local artists, artisans. Um, if you own a store or something like that, like I have people leave descriptions and links to their stuff so you can check it out. I would much rather don't give money to Amazon. Like if you can avoid it at all facts, like please do. Like, give money directly to the people.
Love
Anyway,
it. Perfect one. And then, of course, by the way, speaking of Blue Sky, Jeff, I know you are there. I don't know how active, but hey there, Jeffro, across all the socials. That is Instagram. That is Blue Sky. That is Twitter. So, yeah, follow Jeff on all the socials. Like and subscribe to the channel so you know when Jeff goes live. That's Jeff Has Cool Cards. If you're hearing this on an autoplay, the channel you were on is Jeff Has Cool Cards. Like and subscribe so you know when Jeff's mailbag comes on Friday. If you want to send anything in the mail, do that. Randall's. Okay, sorry, Jeff. One last thing before we head out. Is there
go
any
on.
shot you would have Randall Maynard as a guest on Jeff Has Cool Friends? I know he's a little niche, but his Randall's.
Niche, you mean?
Well, I heard us say the exact same word, right? We all heard it. I said niche. Jeff said niche. We said the exact
No, I
same
didn't.
word.
What word are you saying? Niche?
Niche?
That's
Niche?
not the word, Dre.
Are you sure?
It's not that it doesn't actually matter. Pronounce it however you want. Languages aren't real.
It's true. I do love when we catch each other on that. But Randall Mader has Randall's on eBay as well as Instagram, where he makes custom figurines. I bought you one that I think was, I don't know how you would phrase this, like not a remark, but it was a Spock in an X-wing fighter. But it was
Yeah, we call that a kit bash.
yeah, because I think it was relatively cheap because I think he got a legit just Star Wars X-wing fighter and put a Spock face on it. But he will make like custom ones from scratch, right? Where he makes everything, and those are pricier. He even made a custom Jeff May. So I guess, yeah, like he seems fascinating to talk to. And then there's other stuff I don't know if he'd want to talk about, but he's famous for other reasons in the Jeff Mayaverse. Seems like an interesting guest. Don't know if he's quite, what you're looking for, but you've had other toy collectors, toy makers and stuff on your show. So that seems like it'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Don't know, floating that out to you and then saying it, on this stream, so it doesn't have to be as main. All right. Anyway, oh yeah, the Zach's bringing up that Randall's has a Rogue with Captain America's shield, which I'm not going to talk anymore about. But that's an awesome figure. Okay, so
Yeah.
Perfectly good. Did all the stuff. There's the beautiful Mike Mayhew. We got our template. This is I just reused a previous graphic, Jeff, and updated the graphic because I did the exact same break. But that's okay because I am collecting. Gonna play the music and play us out. It was fun. Glad you're able to make this. Thanks everybody for watching. We got some.
Thank you all. We appreciate you.
Yeah, and I have to figure out shorts and stuff on the channel. That's next for me when I get the time. Yeah, that's pretty good actually in terms of